time in New York, and he was taking trains a lot. And he was in the even out in California. She's got it, right? It's so funny.
It's like when you're saying this word gap, you have to give a gap.
Yes.
So now it's playing. So that's where I messed up. Because I just had never done it, and red means record. Green was pause.
Yeah, even I would not. Because she wants to do this herself, and it's like I didn't.
I messed it up.
Oh, it's okay. We will solve it. Everybody has this. That's normal. You know? If we don't do anything, then we cannot do anything.
So when did you see a beta?
Do you have your mobile with you? Your mobile?
2-3 months ago.
Because if we record it, then
He does not tell me it's the weekend.
you can see your missed calls later.
But he has program at his place once a month. Kirtan,
Yeah, he told me you visited him a few times.
yeah. He also comes to his place, he doesn't come and visit me.
Everyone's disappointed.
Sadhvata is coming in the summer.
No idea.
Doctor.
Yeah, in the summer. June. In lights in June.
The school, I think, 18 or something, that's third or second or third.
You're leaving in June, You're leaving in June. Yeah. Yeah.
Close the door, please. ज्ञानतिवृन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोर्श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तिशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Janmadhyasya tanmayaditaratas Charthe Subhigyasvarat Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaye Muyanti Yat Suraya Tejo Vari Mridam Yatha Vinimayo Yatra Trisargo Mrisha Dhamna Svena Sada Nirasta Kuhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, Chapter 3, verse number 20. This is a description of dialogue between Lord Shiva and his wife Sati. And Sati was interested in visiting his father's place where a sacrifice was being performed. But Sati and her husband Shiva, they were not invited because Daksha did not like Shiva. So she asked for permission to go there, although not invited, but Shiva did not give the permission. And he was giving the reasoning why one should not go there. And basic reason is that if you are not invited, although you can go to your relative's place, you don't need a special invitation. But if the relatives are not favorable, then better to avoid. You go to your parents and they don't appreciate that you become a devotee. Then keep little distance. Because they can put you in trouble. So you don't have to be against them or critical of them, but you know that they don't like it. And in case of Daksha, not only that he did not like, but he was very much against Shiva. And he had cursed him that he will never get any portion in the sacrifice. So Lord Shiva was not in a mood to go there. Although Lord Shiva is supposed to be Atmarama and beyond honor and respect. But it does not mean that you unnecessarily invite trouble. In Hindi they say, "Aa bail mujhe maar." You tell the bull, "Please come and hit me." So that is not advisable. You unnecessarily go, put your hand in the mouth of a tiger, then you are in for a trouble. So he was saying that don't go there because these words which are not kind, they are more painful than even the arrows. And you remember them day and night, you cannot even sleep at night. So he said don't go there. And he continues to dissuade her. Says Vyaktam Pamutkrishta Gatahe Prajapatehe Priyatma Janamasi Subhru Sammata Athapimanam Pitu Prapatsyase Madashrayatka Paritapyate Yata. Says that it is understood that you are one of the favorite daughters of your father, Prajapati, who now is in a very honorable position. But he says that you will not get respect from your father. And the reason is that Madashrayat, because you are under my shelter, you are my wife. And therefore, you have to lament later on. So it usually happens that if there are two friends and one of them has an enemy, then he also becomes the enemy of the friend. He will also not care for that. And especially in the family, if somebody is against you, then he also becomes against your spouse. Because you know that these people are together. So for that reason, he said that although Daksha has nothing against Sati, he liked her very much. She was one of the favorite daughters. But he did not like Shiva at all. Shiva and Daksha actually could not get along together. And the reason is that one follows the path of karma, another is a yogi. So how can karma and yoga go together? Yoga says renounce, meditate, live alone, aloof, don't get into too many endeavors. And karma means social life, be with people, actions, big enterprises, dress nicely, eat nicely, party, right? And Shiva is just opposite of that, so how can they get along together? There has to be something in common. So one is attached to material pleasures, material wealth, material life, another is totally renounced. So even if they sit down together, what they will talk? And this would have been actually an embarrassing situation in the past. Whenever Shiva visited Daksha, if at all he had visited, they would have just sat on the coffee table staring at each other. I mean, what can Shiva tell him? That, can you tell me something about the sacrifice? He is living in the cremation ground, wearing all these bones and skulls and snakes around him. And Daksha is in his nice silk dhoti, with all this tilak and jewelry. So it just doesn't match. And Daksha would have also felt embarrassed that why this guy is here, when is he going to leave? Usually guests are welcome, you are happy when they are there. It's a fun in the family when you get relatives. But somebody like Shiva, he will probably tell him that don't come out of the drawing room. Nobody should know that you are here. We will supply everything to you. Whatever you need, just stay in a corner. So he said that you are not going to be respected because Daksha does not like me at all. So don't go there. So therefore, Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti says that Mai tatra gatayam nayam shanka che tatra hai vyaktam nishchitam. If she says that this problem does not exist if I go there, okay, you don't go but I can go. So he says that vyaktam nishchitam eva utkrishta gateriti viprit lakshana prajapater dakshasya atmajanam madhyatvam priya. He says that definitely you are a very favorite daughter of your father, Prajapati. Atisneha patri bhavasi. Extremely favorite. Tathapi tadapi pituh sakashat manam na pratipatsase na prapsasi. Yado mad ashrayat mad samman. But don't have any hope at all of any respect from your father because of my relationship with me. So this is also very improper. And why he has to disrespect his own daughter? What is her fault? She is married to Shiva and he does not like Shiva, then why mistreat the daughter? But this is how the ego works, that he wants to disrespect Shiva, so he will disrespect anything related with him.
Question.
Yes.
Did Daksha give daughter Sati to Lord Shiva or Sati decided to marry to Lord Shiva? Is it
He gave daughter to Lord Shiva on the order of Brahma.
In order of Brahma, okay.
He said it earlier, that I gave it because Parmest he said. He did not even say that my father said. He said I gave my daughter because he said it. Dattavat maya sadhavi chodite parmestina.
Okay.
So he says that this is the mistake of this old guy here. And I'm suffering now. So you should always use your own discrimination. That's what he was trying to say. because he is not wrong. See, when he was angry, he was disrespecting everybody, including Brahma. Because when you become angry, then you see yourself as the best. And anyone who comes in front of you, you will get angry at that person. Therefore, when father is angry in the house, then hide in a corner, even if he is angry at somebody else. Because then you can also be the object of his anger. And there is such a thing, it bewilders the intelligence, and then you lose your discrimination. So then you become samdarshi. You have an equal vision. See everybody is angry, right?
You are angry to everybody.
So this is one way of having an equal vision. Not angry. Therefore when Lord Shiva, he destroys, then he opens his third eye. So that is an equal vision. Lord Shiva has an equal vision, and death also is called Samadarshi. There is one name for death, Samadarshi, because he sees everyone with the same vision, rich or poor, male, female, young, old, doesn't matter. He has no discrimination, he kills everyone. So Lord Shiva does the same. So opening third eye means going beyond the duality. So anger is also making you like that. So he continues, Papacyamanena hrida turendriya samriddhibhi purusha buddhi sakshinam akalpe vamadhirodu manjasa padam param dveshti yatha suraharim. So now he talks a little bit about himself, because Sati may be thinking that why is that when my father came in the assembly he did not stand up. Now he is going on criticizing my father, but you also have some blame to take. When he entered in the assembly, he could have been little courteous and stood up, then this problem would not come. So he is giving a reasoning now. Says Papacya manena hrida aturendriya samriddhibi purusha buddhi sakshina. He says that these people, envious people, they have one quality. And the quality of envious person is that he cannot tolerate the progress of the person of whom he or she is envy. This is a great trouble to the heart. If someone is getting ahead of you, materially, by power, position, knowledge, in any sense, then it gives some kind of discomforting feeling in the heart. You feel troubled. So therefore what he says is Papacya manena hrida aturendriya. Then your heart starts burning. Papacya means burning. And aturendriya, the senses become disturbed. Why? Samriddhibhi purusha buddhi sakshinam. By the wealth or opulence of those people who are meditating on the Lord. Purusha buddhi sakshinam. So akalpa eva vido adhirodhu manjasa. And why they become envious? Why do they become disturbed? Because they themselves cannot reach that post which they would like. If they would not like, they will not become envious. Or if it is beyond their reach anyway. A pauper on the road does not become envious of the king because he knows that this is beyond my reach. But if there is another beggar and he gets an extra donation on a particular day, and this beggar comes to know about it, then he will burn in the heart. Right? So he says that akalpa esam adhirodhu manjasa. that they are not able to attain that state, padam param dveshti, then what do they do? They just become envious. They hate. Yatha asura hari. It's like the asuras that dislike Lord Hari. Lord Krishna he has nothing to do with them. He is not troubling them. He is not causing any problem to them. But they see that he has something which they would like to have, but they cannot get. So then they are just envious. So in other words, what he is saying is that I am a peaceful person and everybody respects me. Lord Shiva was respected by everybody. So he would like respect like me. Because the whole problem was of the respect. That he came, everybody stood up except Shiva, and of course Brahma, his father. So he thought that this Shiva is so proud because everybody respects him and he is not standing up. And I would actually like to be like him and peaceful. And that's why he got more agitated that when he was cursing, then also Shiva did not say anything. Because then it became more trouble. Now everyone could see that Daksha is a nonsense and Shiva is a peaceful person. So this made him even more mad. And that's why he walked out from the assembly. He said, better I go from here. What else could he do? So this is the region. This is the real thing, which is now he is explaining that. This is the root cause that he is not able to tolerate my position. And it's not that he cannot be like me. You see, in spiritual life there is no competition. If you want to be the president of a country, then only one person can be the president. So you have to defeat someone to be. But if you want to be a devotee of the Lord, then there is no limit that only you can be and I cannot be. Both can be devotees. So if Daksha wants to be like him, then no one is stopping him. But he doesn't understand, being a materialistic person. He thinks that if he is there, I cannot be like him, so I have to envy him, I have to finish him off, then I can be superior to him. If someone is superior to you, then either you be more than him or you kill him, you remove him. So he wanted to remove him from the sacrifice, that he will not be seen, then he will not come, nobody will bother about him, and he will get no share, he will not be remembered. So this is the materialistic mind. Nanu bhagavans tada tvaya va daksham prati mansa kinchit dvishtam tatra nahi nahi iti shapatam kuruvan daksho matsari sadaiva smadai advadin dveshti. So if Sati says that, my Lord, you also have some hatred towards Daksha in your mind. So Lord Shiva says, no, I swear I don't have anything like this. Daksha is a Matsari, he is an envious person, and he always envies people like me. He is not saying only me, but Asmadadim, others also who are like Shiva. That's why we read previously that when he performed that Brihaspati Seva, it was written there that he did not invite Brahmistan. And those who were Brahmistas, Istvasa Vajpayena Brahmisthana Nibhuyacha Brihaspati Savanamna Samarebhe Kratutam. Then disregarding the Brahmistas or realized people, he performed the sacrifice. Because he knows that he is not equal to the Brahmistas or Brahman realized people. So better not call them, because if you call them, then you become inferior to them. So if you want to feel superior, then go in an assembly where people are inferior to you. otherwise somebody can subdue you. Samprati mad aparadham kalpitva desham prakatyamasa ityaha papachi. So he said that he has unnecessarily imagined an offense and he is envying me, manifesting his envy towards me. Esham asmadadinam smriddhi bhir yogashwaryadi bhir hetubhi papachyamanena jajalyamanena hrida aturendriya dveshti yatha asurahani. So he said that he envies burning in his heart and also disturbed in his senses because of the opulence. And what is Shiva's opulence? Yoga Ashwari. It's not some material opulence. His opulence is spiritual opulence. Daksha was also very opulent, but he realized that his opulence is inferior, it is material opulence. So he cannot attain it, but he has a desire for it. So many times when people criticize somebody, it indicates that actually this person wants to be like that, but is unable. So then that is called the story of the sour grapes, the fox story. The fox was jumping to get the grapes. The grapes were a little high and she could not jump and catch the grapes. Then she laughed and said, "These grapes are sour, I am not interested in them." So, not interested because not able to reach. So this is the psychology behind criticism many times, that we criticize things which we very much like to have, but we cannot have. Maybe socially we are not allowed to have it, because if we have them, people may criticize us that I am a yogi and now I am going to the bar. So what kind of a yogi are you? I am an Ayurvedic doctor and I am eating hamburger or smoking. So then you see someone doing that and you get angry. So this guy is such a rascal. So you feel disturbed inside because you have a desire for it and you cannot have it for whatever reason. Either you are incapable, you don't have the money, or you are not allowed socially and you have not transcended the desire. So then you become critical. So that's what is happening. So this is actually, the person can take this as an appreciation, that actually he is appreciating me by criticizing me. It means he likes me, but he cannot have, so he is speaking like that. Kidrisha yesam param sarvotkristam padam adurodim akalpa samanta. Why? Because he is not able to rise to the level of their superior position. Asmakam tu dakse tvatpitri dvesleso api nasti iti sasapatam vadan visnasti purusha parmeshvara eva buddhir bhadraya bhadraya va sakshi yesam tesham iti laksham. So he says that I have not an iota of hatred towards your father, and in this way, as if swearing and saying that, he gives another meaning, Purush Buddhi Sakshi Nam, that in this regard, Lord, He is the witness of my intelligence, because He knows my heart, whether I have any dislike for Daksha, then he knows this. You can ask him. So yadi tvam na pratyasi tada kshanam samadhina parameshwaram sakshatkritya maddoshganam saiva prashtaveti bhava. In other words, he is saying that if you don't understand this, then sit down in samadhi, which means meditate on the Lord, and then ask him if I am right or wrong. because he knows my heart. So he is saying that I don't have anything against your father. Pratyudgam prashanabhivadanam vidhiyate sadhumitha sumadhyame pragyahi parasmai purushaya chetasa guhashaya evana dvehimanine. So now he comes to the point. He says that pratyudgama means standing up, prashrayana means being subservient or taking shelter, abhivadam means greeting. He says vidhiyate sadhu mitha sumadhyame pragyai parasmai purushaya chetsa. That those who are sadhus or holy people, they do this to each other, means honoring each other by standing up, by paying obeisances, by greeting. So he says this is done through the mind, guhasaya eva, to the Purusha who is in the heart. So that means when sadhus are paying obeisances to each other, they are paying obeisances to the Lord who is sitting in the heart, and not to the person who is identifying with the body. So the respect is not given to the body, because what is the point in respecting the body? It is material, it is made of material elements. Just like you want to respect the chair. So what does it mean to respect the chair? Respecting means accepting somebody as superior to you and accepting yourself as inferior. That is the meaning of paying obeisances. Paying obeisances means that you are superior, I am inferior. So he says that sadhus, because they are always meditating on the Lord, so they are seeing the Lord in the other's heart and they respect that. They are not respecting his body, and it is for this reason that he did not stand up. There was no need to give respect to Daksha. He was already giving respect to the Lord in his heart. So this was the reason. Nanu satyam tvam adveshta eva iti pratyemi tadapi swasure tasmin pratyutthan vinayadikam uchitam eva iti yata. So now if Sati says that yes, I understand what you are saying, that you don't have any hatred for my father, but it was definitely appropriate for you to stand up when he came. What is wrong with that? Why you did not do that? So then he says pratyudgaman abhivadan pratyabhivadanadikam mitho janair yad vidhiyate tat pragyahi parasmai purushaya guhashaya eva chetsa. So he says that when this respect is given by standing up or falling on the ground, etc., by people to each other, then it is given to the Purusha who is in the cave of the heart. And Chetsa, through their mind, atra mat swasure mat jamatri cha parmeshwara vartate tasmai nama iti bhavanaya eva vidhiyate na dehemani. So that this is my father-in-law and I pay respect to him because the Lord is inside him. And he may also greet me saying that this is my son-in-law and Lord is inside him, so I greet him. But it is not given to a person who is identifying with the body. Pragyestu parmeshwara smarana bhava dehamanine vidhiyate. So this is the case who are learned people. But those who are not learned, they are giving respect to the body. Na tat samyag, and that is not proper, that is not appropriate. Ato daksha agamana samaye Sri Bhagavad Charana Samahita Chetasatvat Yadyapi Daksho Maya Na Drishta Tadapi Bhagavat Sammananena Daksha Sammano Abhudaiva. So he said that although when Daksha came to the assembly, I did not notice it, that he has arrived. And why is that? Because my mind was completely fixed on the lotus feet of the Lord. The Lord Shiva is meditating always on Krishna's feet. So therefore, I was respecting the Lord, and because I was respecting the Lord, I respected Daksha also. So automatically, if you respect Lord, then everybody is respected. Dakshastva jnani vritha kupyati. But Daksha, he is ignorant, and therefore he is unnecessarily angry. What can I do? And there is a very famous verse. Sattvam vishuddham vasudeva shabditam yadiyate tatra pumana pavritah sattve cha tasmin bhagavan vasudevo yadhokshajo me namasa vidhiyate. Says that this Vishuddha Sattva is called Vasudeva. And it is in this Vasudev that Lord becomes uncovered, becomes revealed. Otherwise he is covered. Naham prakasa sarvasya yogamaya samavrata. Krishna says that I am not revealed to everyone because I am covered by yogamaya. So he is revealed only in Vishuddha Sattva. So Sattveja tasmin Bhagavan Vasudevo Yadhokshajo me namsa vidhyate. So he says that in that Sattva I offer always my obeisances to Lord Vasudeva, which is another name for Krishna. So that's why he is called Vasudeva. Vasudeva means who manifests in Vasudeva. That's why his father's name is Vasudeva. Because Vasudeva means Visuddha Sattva, and it is Visuddha Sattva which makes him manifest. So he is Adhokshaja otherwise. Adhokshaja means not perceptible by the material senses. There is no way that you can perceive him. But he can be perceived only in Vishuddha Sattva. This is his own internal energy of God, special energy, and only in that energy he is seen, not otherwise. So what he is saying is that at that time basically I was situated in that samadhi state, and tamasa vidhiyate, and I was paying my respect to Bhagavan Vasudeva. So what can I do? When you are in samadhi, you are oblivious to your surroundings. And in that state, there is no question of respect or disrespect to anybody, because you are linked up with the Supreme Person directly. Tvaya tadanim katham samadhi krita iti tu no palambhaniyameva yato bhagavat samadhi na madadhi. So if Sati says that why is that you have to go into samadhi at that time? So if you are invited for dinner, and then with the dinner table you go into samadhi. So that's not the proper time, everything has a time. So why did you do that? So Lord Shiva says that this Bhagavad Samadhi means meditating on the Lord is not in my control. I have no control over it. Kintu tadadhine eva. It is by His grace that it can happen. Ato Bhagavad Spurter Mama Naiva Samaya Niyama says that there is no time for me when Lord can become manifest in my heart. So Niyamita Smarnena Kala. There is no time when this Smaran can happen.
No time. There is no time when the samadhi can happen.
And there is no fixed time.
Cannot be predicted.
It can happen anytime. Depends on the Lord.
And now the doubt is if Shiva was really samadhi and means that he is disconnected with what is happening outside the world, how then he could remember the world?
Then the Samadhi broke. Samadhi is not eternal. It happened, he went internal state and then he came out. But it was too late.
Because out of that.
So could it be said that because Lord appeared on Samadhi and then this was Lord's plan to have the dispute between the two?
Yes. That's His Leela. Otherwise, how will we understand all this? So much explanation being given here. This will not be understood if you did not do that. So he says that there is no samaya niyam, there is no fixed time that samadhi will happen in the Brahma Muhurta, and then it will stop after the sunrise. So he says that it can happen anytime. Because we don't know what reminded him of Krishna and suddenly he went in samadhi. Something maybe he remembered, something happened. He went in his internal state. So then, how does it happen? He makes it clear. It says, Vishuddham Sattvam Aprakritam Antahakaranam Vasudeva Saddhata. So what is Visuddha Sattvas? Sattva also means heart. As Krishna speaks when he is talking about 3 types of Saddha. Shraddha Mayoyam Purushayo Shashuddha Evasa. Sattvanurupa Sarvasya Shraddha Bhavati Bharata. Krishna says that everyone has their Shraddha, their faith, according to Sattva. So Sattva there does not mean the Sattva Prakriti, this Prakriti Guna Sattva Rajas Tamas. Sattva there means heart. And heart does not mean this the physical part which is pumping blood, but Chitta. So what is the constitution of the Chitta? Accordingly we have Shraddha. Sattvanurupa Sarvasya Shraddha Bhavati Bharata Shraddha Mayayam Purusha Yoyat Shraddha Sayamasa. So everybody is having some Shraddha. Everybody has some faith in something, whatever it may be. And we work according to our faith. And that faith comes from what is inside our heart. And that comes from our previous experiences. But there is, when heart becomes completely pure, when we do sadhana, so by doing sadhana, what we are doing, that we purify our heart. Chetodarpan Marjana, right? Then clean the heart by doing chanting the name of the Lord, Mahamantra chanting. We are cleaning the heart. When heart becomes completely clean, then it comes to the state of Vishuddha Sattva. Means the internal potency of the Lord manifests in it. And then only in that heart Lord becomes manifest. So this is what he is saying, that Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Saddhitam Tatra Iyate Pumana Pavrita. Then Puman means Lord, person, Apavrita means uncovered, Iyate means experienced. Then the Lord is experienced in that heart. So that's what he says. So Visuddham Sattvam Aprakritam Antahakaranam. Aprakrita Antakaranam means transcendental heart. Vasudeva Shabditam. Vasudeva Saddhena Uttam Bhavati. It is called by the word Vasudeva. Yadva Vishuddham Chit Shakti Vrittam Maya Aprakritam Sattvam Vasudeva Bhagavad Janake Uchyate. Or that Aprakrit Sattva, which is called Chit Shakti, or the internal potency, which is not the material Sattva, that is called Vasudeva, or the Father of the Lord. Kutaha yad yasmat tatra apavrito vigata avaranah puman iyate prakasate sacha Vasudeva. Why is it called? Because in that state, or in that condition of Vishuddha Sattva, Lord becomes shorn of all the covering and becomes revealed, manifest, and that is Vasudeva. Vasudeve Bhagavati Avirbhavati iti tat shabdasya. So the meaning is that Lord becomes manifest in Vasudeva. Vishuddhe antakarane cha tasya avirbhavo drishyate. So just as he manifests through Vasudeva, he also manifests in the pure heart. Ato vishuddhasya antakaranasya madiyasya Vasudeva iti nam iti avgata. So therefore my pure heart is called Vasudeva, because Lord Vasudeva manifests there. Should be Vasudeva, why Vasudeva? Tatascha vasati asmin parmeshwara iti vasuscha prakritatvad devascha iti vasudeva iti tadvitraptisya bhumate. So why it is called Vasudeva? Because the word Vasudeva is made from two words, Vasu and Deva. And Vasu comes from the root Vas, which means to live. From this root Vas only you have Vastu Sastra, or Vas, Nivas, some place of residence. So he says that Vasati asmin Parameshwara iti Vasu. That Vasu means where the Supreme Lord lives. Therefore it is called Vasu. And Deva, Aprakrita Devasya. And Deva means not material, divine. So the word Deva comes from the root Divu, and from this only you have the English word divine also. So means the place where Lord is living and the place which is divine is called Vasudeva. That is the meaning, and therefore Lord becomes manifest. Atas tasmin sattve antahakarane bhagwan adokshajaha prakrita indriya gochara spuran. So therefore in that heart, which is called by the word Vasudeva, which is pure, then Lord Adhokshaja, who cannot be perceived by material senses, he becomes revealed, manifest. So namsa namaskaro plakshitaya bahuvid saparya anuvidhyate paricharyate visheshana dhyate dharite. So he said, therefore I pay my obeisances to that Lord when he is manifest like this in the heart. And this paying obeisances also indicates all other types of services. Not that he is only paying obeisances, he may be also offering food, doing arti, talking to him, anything. Manasik seva. So he says, namaskara uplakshita bahuvid saparyaya anuvidhyate paricharyate. I do paricharya, I do service, and visheshena dhyate dharyate. So namsa vidhyate either means that I do paricharya seva, or it means that I specifically hold it in my heart. Manasa iti pathe manasaiva sevyate atastadanim yatha. So there are two different readings. One is namasa vidhiyate, means I offer my obeisances to him, and in some places instead of namasa this is manasa, changing mind. No? So then it means that directly means that I do service with my mind. And therefore this is what I was doing at that time. I was doing mansik seva to the Lord. Bhagavan asid atastat paricayam avkasa bhavadev ne me bahir anusandhanam abhut. So he says, at that time Lord was being served by me, and because I was busy in the service, there was no chance, no opportunity for me to do anything else. And therefore I did not stand up. So he says that I was not even aware what was going on externally. Like sometimes you are sitting and people are talking, and your mind goes somewhere else. You are not aware what is happening here. It happens to everybody. But to speak, if someone goes in a samadhi like this, so in that moment this happened. And Daksha came just then. So he says, Atah kathaya ko me dosha iti. So he says, now you tell me what is my fault. You are asking why I did not stand up when my father entered the assembly. So he says, now tell me, what could I do? If you are in my place, what will you do? Would you stand up? No, there is no chance. So this is his answer. And then he will tell her not to go. But she will not listen. She was quite bent upon going. So we'll stop here. Then we'll see tomorrow what will happen to her.
The purification of the heart that's going on in the sadhana, does the sadhana have the power to do that on its own at all through the discrimination of the buddhi in order to reflect on these samskaras and change these feelings, or does the purification process only come through the grace of the Lord?
No, that sadhana is not something material. Sadhana is related to the Lord only, because the name, you chant the name, and name is Lord Himself. And then by His grace it happens. It's not something mechanical process. It happens by His grace. And sadhana is a way to ask for His grace. So it is not something that you mentally try to discriminate. And that will purify. That they do in other paths, but not in bhakti.
In regards to paying obeisances, you mentioned that sadhus pay obeisance to Purusha in the heart. No, there is a certain etiquette also that juniors pay obeisance to seniors, or more advanced get paid obeisance by others. So if it's only to the Lord in the heart, then one could think that the Lord in the heart is the same. So is the reason that because the person who's more advanced has realized the Lord more than the other person, and that's why he's accepting the obeisance of the other person?
Yeah, because senior means spiritually senior. So of course there is also social etiquette. You pay respect to father and respect to mother, who are senior by relation. But there also it is understood that father is like representative of God, mother is representative of God. Ultimately, we don't do anything independent of God. That is the principle behind it. And father and mother are respected, or very senior people are respected because they represent God in some sense. So that's why we give respect to them. Now it's saying that they can also respect you because God is there in everybody. They respect but may not do it externally. Otherwise the junior may feel embarrassed by that or may become proud. They also do that. It's not, they are not thinking that this respect is coming to me, I'm so great. If they think, then they lose their sadhanas.
You said that Daksha and Shiva, they had conflict of interests because Daksha was into karma and Shiva was a yogi and thus totally disinterested in material nature. And yet he just got married. Isn't that also somewhat of a conflicting issue? That he is not interested in material nature and only interested in pursuit of the Lord?
Because Sati is his, if you see from philosophical point of view, then she is her power, energy, and separated from, always with her.
I mean, that's more like a general question because there are many yogis that are married, right? So
Yeah, so therefore I'm saying if you want to see from yoga point of view, then there was no need for him to get married. And that's why they did not have any children. But why he got married? Because Sati is eternal consort of Shiva. That's why she will burn her body and in next life she is born as Parvati and she will again choose him as a husband. So they are always together. And this getting married is just a way of showing that they are together. Otherwise, what is him getting married? It has no meaning, just like Krishna getting married. Or Vishnu getting married. And who is the source of everybody, what is marriage for him? And it also to show that if someone is yogi like him, then it does not matter whether he is married or not married. Now he is married and Sati will burn her body, then he remains unmarried. Nothing changes in his life. But if someone is actually in the Kamakanda life, then a lot changes if the wife is gone. What is life without a wife? Then you look for another one. So he did not do that. So different ways of seeing the same thing. If somebody is a yogi like him, then it is immaterial. So he is not doing sadhana to become perfect. For others, they have to do sadhana.
Since Sati is the eternal consort of Shiva, and her only purpose is to assist him or serve him, yeah, in his mission. So how is it? How do we understand that she disagreed? How is it possible that she could do something that displeases him?
Well, this is, I think, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gave a hint about it when he said that although it is impossible for them to be separated like this, just to show that sometimes they are influenced by the guna because they associate with this. And this is to show that how Vishnu is completely aloof from the gunas and others, they once in a while get influenced, like even Brahma Because many times this question is asked that Brahma is a pure devotee, he is realized, he knows the Vedas, how is that he does certain things? So like he was attracted to his own daughter. So this is just to show that how the gunas can influence them sometimes. Although it does not change their position, they don't become implicated or get into law of karma or anything like that. It's just to show that how they also get this influence. And then they behave like this. Otherwise you are right, how could she do? Her very name is Sati and she is the one who is going to give up her body. And she sees that Shiva is actually disrespected. So that is one reason. There are many reasons behind everything. There is another reason which I will tell tomorrow in the class. Why this whole thing happened. There is history behind it. Which it has to happen like this.
Daksha means expert. Daksha was expert at his job.
In his profession.
Yes. And Sati?
Chaste.
Okay. So, my question is, I've thought of it in other circumstances as well. When the name of the personality means the quality that that person represents, right? How do you see that? I mean, because some people say that the events in Puranas like Bhagavatam, they're stories just to teach lessons. They're not actually really people. That's why you get the names and the qualities the same.
But why you think that they are not actual people?
I'm not saying that I think that.
But whoever is saying, what is the reason? Why is it not possible that they have the name which goes along with their character? Is there any reason that it is not possible? But there is a reason that how it goes along with it, because the names previously were given by seeing the character of the person. So whoever gave them the name was given because he or she, whoever gave, they understood that this is the character of this person. Whether they came to know it by their own vision or through astrology. So if you study why Parikshit was given the name Parikshit when he was born, then astrologers were called. And then they said that he will be called Parikshit. Or in case of Krishna also, his name was given by Gargamuni. And said this will be called Balram because he is very powerful, and he will be called Sankarshan because of this, and he will be called Krishna because of this. So he gave the name by seeing the character of these people, which will manifest later on. Obviously the baby is not manifesting anything at that time. So that's how the names were given to people.
So you were explaining from chapter 17 of Bhagavad Gita, the Sattva Rupa Sraddha Bhavati, and you say Sattva is the heart or Chitta. So in that Chitta, the Sraddha is there because of the Purva Sanskara. Now through the Sadhu Sang, that Sanskar gets purified and you develop the Sraddha.
Yes. Purified means you create new sanskaras. And you deactivate the wrong ones. That's
So
what sadhana means.
is the grace is there because of the Sadhu Sangha, or I'm just trying to understand the chronology of that.
Grace is, you can say by sadhu sangha, grace is actually causeless.
Yes.
So that comes through the sadhus. But we have to make an effort. Not that we say, well, I don't have to do anything. It happens by grace. And grace is causeless. So let me just eat halwa puri. Why bother anything, getting up early morning in this cold and then taking bath? So then that is not the proper attitude. We have to make an endeavor. But it does not mean that everything happens because of my endeavor. Otherwise then I become proud again.
So through the sadhu sangha, through the grace, you get the shraddha, and then you start bhajana kriya in sadhu sangha.
Right.
So is that the shraddha precedes the sadhu sangha and also follows the sadhu sangha?
Yes. Because first you get shraddha without any cause. And once you get shraddha, that inspires you to act. That is the very meaning of shraddha. Shraddha is an inspiration to do something. And when you do that properly, then you get more. Then purification begins, anartha nivritti. And same shraddha becomes clear, solidified, it becomes nistha, fixity.
So the beginning shraddha is also part of bhakti then?
Yeah, it is considered as the qualification of the sadhaka.
Qualification of the sadhaka.
Yeah. Because that's what inspires you to do. If shraddha is not there, you will not do sadhana. So bhakti is something which you do with your senses. Right? Bhakti is an activity you perform. Sadhana, we are talking about sadhana bhakti at this stage. So that is what you perform with your senses, with your body, mind, speech. Right? But that thing is inspired by Shraddha. So therefore Shraddha is instrumental, and thus it is not part of bhakti but part of the person who is doing it. It's like you have some qualification as an engineer, and because of that qualification you do the job. So job is not the qualification. Job is that action is performed because you have the qualification. So bhakti you perform because there is Shraddha. Yes. You want to say
You
something?
say something?
No, not about that, something else.
Whatever it is. No, I'm finished, yeah.
Yeah, but I was just like curious to know about this getting into the samadhi that is not under the control of the person. So a person is meditating on the Lord and then suddenly he finds himself absorbed and disconnected from whatever
Yes.
is going around him. And this comes because of not because of his effort or his...
Well, the effort is there, but even if the effort is there, it will not happen just because of the effort. You have to always remember that nothing is going to happen if you don't make an effort. Although it can happen, but effort is something which we can do. But the result is not in my hand. Just remember Krishna's very famous standard statement, karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. That we are eligible to act. That's why this body is called kshetra, field for action. So human body is the karma kshetra, not animal body. Animal body you have to do something for them, or you can engage them. So this human body is very special because it is karma kshetra. This is the field in which you can act. So therefore, Krishna always says that don't give up the action. And he goes on to saying that you cannot live without performing action. So action is to be performed, but the result is not in my control. This is where we make the mistake, that we become attached to the result and we think that I control the result. Then the troubles start. That I want the result and I can control the result. And Krishna says that result is not under your control. What you can do is the action. You do that properly, then there is a good possibility that good result will come. But don't think that you are the controller of that result. And that's why he says that there are 5 causes behind every action. Adhisthanam tatha karta karanam sapatharita. Devdhasya prithak chesta daivam chatra panchanam. The 5th one is daiva. And daiva is not in my hand. Even if you take its fate, it's not in my control. It's already there. Whatever is there, I don't know. If deva is taken as God or Supreme, then obviously is not in my control. So there, in action, there are certain things which I control, but when it comes to result, I don't have a control. And therefore, don't say that it happened just because I did it. So that's why it says, Ahankara vimud atma karta hamiti manyate. That person who is bewildered by the pride, saying that I am the doer. So it's not that we don't do things, but we have to know that besides me there are many other things which are instrumental in bringing the result. So we have to be mindful of that. So same in Samadhi also. So that's why he was saying that it is not in my hand. And therefore, because it is not in my hand, he said that there is no samaya niyama, there is no rule of it's occurring at a particular time. And it is going to happen every day, 7 o'clock or 12 o'clock. I don't know when it happens. It's like the poets, they write poetry. It's not that they can write poetry anytime. Right? Those who are poets, they know it, that poetry actually descends. They get an inspiration. But it's not in their control. That when they are inspired, it comes. And there is not much they can do. All they can do is not interfere when it is coming, or create a proper ground for it to manifest and that inspiration to come.
I would like to go back to the meaning of sati as chaste. Here we have the relationship of husband and wife. Am I correct in understanding that chaste also applies in other relationships? Guru, disciple, parent, child?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's specifically used in husband and wife relation. This word sati or chaste is specifically used in this relationship. Although the chastity is there in every